Welcome to Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. Busy Living Sober. It's episode 442. How is everybody today? Thank you for everybody that listened last week. I hope you really enjoyed it. It was wow. It was a podcast that I don't know, a lot of people heard and a lot of people resonated with, and it helped a lot of people. And for everybody that enjoyed it and everybody that wrote to me, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope this week is as good as last week. So here we go. If you're here for the first time, welcome to Busy Living Sober. And if you're back, welcome back. Please subscribe to my channel. Please go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, which comes out every Friday at elizabethchance.com or busylivingsober.com. Either way will get you to the same place. Okay, here we go. So I didn't talk about Italy at all last week because it was all about the Blessed Mother and Medjorgia and the transformation that I had. It was an amazing, amazing, amazing trip. And I've already had two people reach out to me and say, all right, when are we going to Medjugorje? If you're interested, email me, elizabeth@elizabethchance.com. It'll go right into my inbox, and we will talk more in the future about what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the fall. Is anybody interested in going to Medjugorje, Bosnia, fly into Croatia, and we'll head over in a car to Medjugorje? Is anybody interested? Let me know. Send me an email. Okay, so here we go. I woke up on New Year's Day of this year, 2024, and I thought to myself, I really, really, really want to go to Venice, Italy. That is like on my bucket list. It had been on my bucket list for a really long time. A dear friend of mine, ironically, gave me a Christmas gift, which is a little magnet that says Venice on it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this, the universe saying to me, it's time for you to go to Venice. It's going to happen finally. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to go there. I really want to go there. And then when I decided to go to Medjugorje, I was like, okay, it's easy because, you just go over the Adriatic Sea and you're in Croatia and you can fly right back into Italy. And what happened is that I went from Medjugorje to Dubrovnik, Croatia. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to go back and really explore there. I could just see from the car ride when I was driving along the coast how amazing Dubrovnik looked like. I was like, I cannot wait to go there. I really want to go there. So I think in the fall, I might have to do Dubrovnik as well as doing Medjugorje and maybe even go pop back over to Italy. So anyway, I ended up going and I got to the Dubrovnik airport. Beautiful airport, by the way, very small, very manageable. I went through a TSA there, and I had to take out my iPad and my Kindle, which I had totally forgotten about. They're like, "Oh, it's in your bag," and I totally forgotten to take it out. So they put it through the scanner. Anyway, I go on my way. Hello, I go shopping, of course, go into duty free in the Dubrovnik airport. I think a lot of us do that. We like to go shop, at least I do, when I'm away, and especially if it's duty free. I'm like, I gotta go shopping. So I go in there and then I get on the plane and I realize right when I get on the plane, I forgot my iPad. I forgot my Kindle. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And we're sitting there waiting. I'm on Ryanair, great airline, very easy to fly back and forth over the coast. It's so inexpensive too. It's amazing. So I'm sitting there in my seat and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have my stuff. And immediately say to the stewardess or steward, whatever they're called these days, flight attendant, can you help me? I forgot this at going through security. Can you help me find my iPad and my Kindle? And they were like, well, we can't do it. Well, I'll call to the gate and we'll see what we can do. So anyway, long story short, I didn't freak out too much, I have to be honest, because normally I would have been like, oh, this plane and cause all this drama. And I had already checked a bag, which is always a pain, as you guys know. So once the bag's checked, it's going. You can't pull the bag out. So my bag was going, whether or not I was going or not. And this lovely dispatcher, the person who works for the airline who makes sure that everything's ready to go and go off and we're going to fly away and perfect, not have any problems. So this gentleman comes to the gate. He comes on the plane and I said, can you please help me? He's like, yes, I can help you. He, um, he was amazing. I'm pulling up my phone because isn't it terrible? I don't remember his name now. It's been 2 weeks and my brain's already going to, oh my gosh. Um, my brain's already like, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing? What is his name? Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't believe I'm embarrassed to say that I don't remember his name." Adrian. Adrian comes on the plane. He's like, "I will get your iPad to you. If I have to send it to you via mail back to the US, I will." I'm like, "Really? Here's my phone number." So anyway, long story short, again, long story short, I'm sorry for saying that all the time, but I end up talking to him on WhatsApp. I end up being able to send him some money, and he sent it to me via DHL. So it arrived at my house. So happy, so happy, so happy. And I got it back. But there are good people in the world, you guys. I just have to tell you that there's so many good people in the world. So I fly from Dubrovnik over to Rome. I meet JF. So exciting. I hadn't seen him in 10 days. So that was amazing just to see my husband. And Rome airport is humongous. And we got on a flight. We went from Rome up to Venice. And amazing, amazing, amazing. It's so beautiful. And one of the things that I found to be so interesting was after leaving Medjugorje, and there's one large church, St. James, and the city's been they've been building it up since 1981 in Medjugorje, so it's not like a lot of old things, right? It's more new, lots of shops, lots of hotels, that sort of thing, but nothing really old. Well, I go to Venice, which was founded in 421 AD. Okay. 421. So you get there. And by the way, so land in Venice. We get a car that picks us up at the airport, takes us over to a boat because that's the only way you can get to Venice is by taking a boat. So we went over the canal into Venice and we rented an Airbnb right on the canal. So water around us at all times, and we take a boat over there, and luckily our boat goes right to the dock of where we're staying, unload our stuff, go upstairs, and it is like I've gone back in time. It's what I've always dreamed of. The canals for one thing, like seeing the canals are amazing. I mean, I've seen canals in, let's say, Laguna Beach, California, and I've seen them obviously in Fort Lauderdale and everything, but Venice with the history is just so amazing, just amazing. And we went and we saw this architecture, and I noticed right away Mary's everywhere. The Blessed Mother is everywhere. I mean, she is on the side of buildings. This is in Rome, Florence, and Venice. Everywhere you go, there's the Blessed Mother. There's the Blessed Mother. I felt so at home and at peace. I never worried about anything. Now, there's no wheels in Venice, you guys. There's no wheels. So there's no tires. There's no bicycles. There's no skateboards. At least I didn't see any. There were none of those, nothing. There was nothing. It was all you had was your feet. You just walk, 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 walk. Oh, I guess there are wheels on your suitcase. That's about it. But it was so magical after being in a place like Medjugorje, which was so holy, and then going back to a place, and then going to a place that, history is so important in Italy, and God and the Blessed Mother and churches are everywhere. Everywhere we went, St. Mark's Square. Oh my gosh, was that unbelievable to see the paintings, the people, just the way that everything was. It's like there's such peace. There's such just amazement. You just walk down the streets, these cobblestone streets, and you just get lost because it's just like, let's just face it, there are small little alleyways that you walk through everywhere and everything's connected, and you just keep walking and walking and walking and walking. And I found it to be as exciting and as amazing as I thought it was going to be. The food, oh my gosh, the food was incredible. The seafood, so fresh. The vegetables, so fresh. The pasta, amazing. The bread. Okay, can we talk about the bread? I don't eat bread here in America ever. There, I ate it every day, twice a day. And amazing, amazing. And it was really interesting because I have had some people ask me, how was it to be in this country where a lot of people drink? Wine's really big, especially in Florence, especially in Rome. Florence, everybody goes there to drink. And I never even thought about it. I mean, people offered us, at every restaurant, they're like, "Do you want some limoncello? We're gonna finish with limoncello. Do you want something to drink? Do you want?" And everybody's drinking that. Oh my gosh, what is it called? I don't know what it's called. It's wine spritzer kind of thing, I think it is. And everybody asked us if we wanted one, and everybody we said no, we don't drink. And it was kind of nice because a lot of places did offer mocktail options, which was amazing, amazing. But I didn't want to drink. It's been so, I think back to my journey and I feel like I've been blessed to be able to help a lot of people that are struggling with alcoholism and struggling with drinking and wondering like how am I going to do life, and alcohol's been such a big part of my life, but I want to break up with it. And someone even just sent me an email that said enough is enough. And I remember that feeling of enough is enough. I can't have any more. What is my life going to look like now? Now, of course, I have almost 18 years, but I still remember those first years where I was like, how am I going to be able to do these things? How am I going to be able to travel? How am I going to be able to go see certain things without alcohol? And the reality is, it's really easy. I will tell you, back in 1991, I think it was, I went to Ireland with my mom and my sisters, and I drank the entire time. I drank the entire plane ride over. We ran out of booze over the Atlantic. I was with the rugby team from New York that was going to play Dublin, and we ran out of booze and smoked cigarettes on the plane and all this stuff. And if you were to ask me, what do I remember? And it's not much. I can tell you that, not much. I remember the bus driver. That's who I hung out with. I remember my sister not being happy with me at all. But this trip, I remembered everything. I got up every morning, bright eyed and bushy tailed. I walked and walked and walked. We walked 20,000 steps a day, JF and I, 20,000 steps a day. It wasn't until the last day in Rome that we were like, all right, let's get an Uber. I can't do this anymore. I can't walk like this anymore. It's too far. It's too much. I can't imagine. I can't. We were just like, we give up. I can't do it anymore. And hence we ended up that last day just getting it some Ubers because we were like, all right, I've already walked 15,000 steps. It's not even 12 noon and I can't do it anymore. It's getting warm and I just need to take an Uber, which we did. And it was, I think back to it, and it was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had because of the fact that I had just been in Medjorgia. I had just had this transformation. I had just said, confession for the first time in 40 years. I had been given this grace by the Blessed Mother that gave me this sense like everything was great. It wasn't like so many times. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but we have so much fear about what's going to happen around the corner. Are we going to see everything that's supposed to be seen? Are we going to do everything we're supposed to do? Are we going to make all these things and da 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 da? Da? And instead of having that, I was just like at peace. I just let everything go. I'm going to tell you the first day so we get in the evening to Venice, and the next day I had booked a tour, and of course it started at 8:30 in the morning. JF had, jet lag. I didn't even consider his jet lag or anything else. So it's 2:30 in the morning U.S. time on the East Coast, and it's 8:30 in the morning in Venice. And we get to this tour and we start walking, and I'm like, wait, the guy said what? The guy says, oh, well, we're going to be together till 3 p.m. I've just been on a tour for 10 days with somebody talking all the time, which was amazing. The tour of Medjugorje and Croatia and all that was amazing. Anne Bucek, amazing, amazing, amazing guide. And Ivan, they were incredible. But I was like, I just want to walk around and take stuff in. I don't want to necessarily hear all this history right now. I'm kind of done. Time out. I did a timeout. And we excused ourselves from the tour. We said, "Thank you so much, but we're not feeling." Jeff was like, "I'm not feeling well," which I think he might not have been because he was exhausted. It was again 2:30 in the morning, his time, and he had just flown over the day before. So we bowed out and we ended up just walking around and just walking around. And there's so many churches and they're all open. Every one of them's open. So every church we would go in, I'd open the door, I'd walk in, and I just have this sense fall right all over me and go, oh my gosh, I'm at peace. Do you guys ever feel like that when you walk into a church? You're like, it's kind of how you are when you walk into an AA meeting, especially for me in the beginning. I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is where I'm meant to be. This is a place where I'm going to be okay. This is a place where I can relax and feel comfortable and not worry about anything. And every church had candles to light, and every church I lit a candle. I have a dear friend who's really sick right now, so I've been, lighting candles for him and thinking about just people that are no longer with us anymore and lighting candles and just really praying. And it wasn't like the old prayers of like, what can I get? What can you give me? Oh my gosh, am I going to make a lot of money? Am I going to do the what's God going to put in front of me? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? The reality is I am okay right now in this moment. I was there on this trip, okay, in every single solitary moment. I wasn't worrying so much about yesterday. Yesterday's gone. I didn't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's not here. It was all about being in the moment. There was no fear of what can I get? What do I need to get? What am I missing? All these crazy thoughts that I've always had my entire life kind of just have disappeared. That whole sense of like, am I okay? Yes, I'm okay. I have the Blessed Mother with me. I'm okay. I am okay. I am with God. I am okay. Do you guys know that when I have had this feeling, it's something I've been searching for so long, this sense of being okay. I've gone, I've done yoga, I've done the Kabbalah, I've gone and searched and searched and searched and went through everything and said, oh my gosh, is this going to make me okay? Is this going to make me okay? That's what alcohol did for me for so long. It made me okay. But I'm okay right now, being awake and alive in my own skin without anything. Just knowing how abundant my life is, how many gifts I've been given, how God has given me the gift to be able to do this podcast and be able to help other people through my voice and through them working through me, through the Blessed Mother working through me, through God working through me. I have been able to have this sense of peace and serenity that I've been searching for my entire life, 55 years of looking for this place of peace and serenity. And I finally find it and I'm living in it. And I have to tell you, here I am home almost 2 weeks in. And I still feel it. I still feel this sense like, wow, my back isn't hurting. I'm not all freaked out about what may or may not happen in the future. I'm not watching the news. I was a huge podcast watcher of politics and that sort of thing. I haven't done it. I haven't been interested. I have been just living and praying. I say the rosary every day. And for those of you that think that now I'm becoming this holy roller, I'm not. I'm just, you know, I said this last week and I've said it many times. When Ben Shapiro said that the best self help book out there is the Bible, and he said this months ago. I listened to him, but I didn't really take it into consideration. Really, I was like, "What is that about? Am I going to pick up a Bible? Really? Am I going to do that?" And I have to tell you, he's true. He was right. It truly is the best self help book. I always meditated to different people and put different people on these pedestals. And the reality is, I say the rosary, it's like putting the Blessed Mother in control. Like she's everybody's mother. It doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter what you practice. She loves everybody. The Blessed Mother loves all of us, every single solitary one of us. And we all want peace in the world. And if she's saying do a rosary every day and we're going to get more peace in this world, I'm going to do it, right? Aren't you going to do something that's like going to change everything? Don't you want everything to be peaceful? I do. It doesn't matter what your politics are. We just want peace. We just want love towards one another, towards our neighbor. I'm reading this amazing book about one of the visionaries from Medjorgia, and it's an amazing book. Now I gotta tell you guys the name of it because, again, do I know the name of it? No, I do not. That's my brain for you guys. Um, My Heart Will Triumph by Soldo. Mariana Soldo. Sold. Wait a minute, let me make sure I get this correct, you guys. I'm gonna go back here. Let's see. Um, can I pull this down and tell you guys what it is? So I'm reading this book, and she talks all about Mary and all about what, what life is. My Heart Will Triumph. And she talks all in this book about how, how we all are searching for all this stuff, and how we're all, okay, her name is Mariana, Mirganasoldo. I'm going to put a link to her book in today's description. But this book talks about how the Blessed Mother says that we all go searching for this stuff, and we search for this stuff. And if it's money, we all want money, money, more, 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 more money to give us prestige, give us these material items, do these sort of things that are going to make us feel better. But it's never going to fill the hole, right? It's never going to fill the hole in our soul. I feel like when I was drinking, all I was looking for was something to fill that hole, that God-shaped hole I had inside of me. And I wanted to fill it. I wanted to fill it. I wanted to feel okay. I wanted to feel like I was loved by my neighbors. I wanted to feel this stuff that we hear about. And I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. I couldn't buy enough stuff. I mean, gosh, I used to shop and shop and shop and get this high. I'd go out and I'd buy something and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so high. I got this great thing and it made me feel so much better. I'm so much better now that I have this thing. But the reality is that it never made me okay. It was like, okay, now I've spent money. Look at my, okay, could I really have afforded that? I don't know. Is it really going to make me happy? Not really. Okay. Is it not going to make me happy? I mean, let's face it. I did it so that people would like me and say, oh, she's part of. Look, she's wearing the same bag that we are. Oh, look, she's got the same outfits that we do. Oh, she's this, now she can be accepted by her friends, the people walking around the streets. The beautiful people will let her in because she's got a beautiful handbag. It was all a bunch of smoke and mirrors, you guys. It was all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Yes, did it make me feel good in the moment? For sure. I guess it is like if you're a runner, I'm not a runner, but if you're a runner and you run and you get to this place and you're like, oh, I got there. It feels so good. How long is that feeling? Seconds, maybe minutes, hours? I doubt it. Days? I don't know. But it never ever lasted for me. And I was always searching and searching for this feeling, that knowing that something loves me. And I know that God loves me. I know the Blessed Mother loves me. It's my head and my sickness and my disease, which disease that says I'm not at ease. I'm diseased. I'm not comfortable. I want more. I want to feel something with something besides the feeling of like, wait, I'm just going to sit. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray. I'm going to know that the Blessed Mother loves me, that I am okay, that nothing outside of myself, it's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of you. We think we need this stuff, but it doesn't do anything. It's great. It's great for a moment. And I'm not going to say that now I've become this person that's never, I mean, I just said at the beginning of this podcast, I love to shop. I love to shop. I do love to shop. I don't know, something within me. But knowing that I'm shopping for the sake of the fact that I love to shop and not because I'm looking for a certain feeling. That's the truth today. I'm not looking for a feeling from shopping. I'm looking for a feeling from hearing from somebody like you guys who writes to me, that feeling that actually I'm making a difference in someone's lives. That is what matters to me today. That feeling that everybody is okay, that people are reaching out to me and going, I'm going to get sober. I need to get sober. I want to find faith. How am I going to do it? I'm going to tell you, this rosary has been, I just dropped it. This rosary has been so helpful every day, every day. And I want to say again, thank you to Mo and Alfred. If you're by chance listening to this, thank you. I use this every day. Um, this feeling that we are okay, this feeling that we don't need alcohol anymore, this feeling that we want something to change, this feeling that we can have peace in the world. Maybe I'm delusional in thinking that I'm making a difference, but by saying the rosary, but for me, it's helping. It's helping me. When I was in Italy, I just, it was the most magical place because again, everywhere I went. So I'm going to go and so Venice, amazing. I got to go back to my trip now, guys. Venice, amazing. Food, amazing, unbelievable. Architecture, unbelievable. Shopping, amazing. Just to go even look in all the stores at everybody that what everybody's wearing. It just was beautiful. The artwork was breathtaking, breathtaking. Just the paintings of in the churches that have been there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, way longer than America's even been in existence, was amazing. We took a boat ride over to Murano where they make all the glass. Had the most beautiful tour with the gentleman who's been working there pretty much his entire life. He was a glass blower. He's moved all the way up the ranks and now he's kind of in charge. And he was lovely. And I have to tell you that when I was in Medjorgia, this gentleman, Dr. Bob, I don't know if you guys heard me talk about him last time, but he has these small little medallions of Mary that he has taken to Guadalupe, to Lourdes, and now to Medjugorje. And he gave me a bunch of them. He gave me like 20 of them. I'm like, will you give me 20? He's like, I'm going to give you 20, but you better not leave them in your drawer. I'm like, I swear I'm not going to leave them in a drawer. But I gave one to the man who is in charge of the Murano glass factory over on the island of Murano, and he like started to cry. He's like, "This is the most beautiful gift I've ever received." And I said, "Really? Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so glad that this means so much to you. I just want you to know the Blessed Mother's looking over you." And he started to tear up. It was amazing. I gave him a big fat hug. It was so great. Um, they had an amazing glass sculpture of the Blessed Mother. I wanted it so badly, but of course it was over my budget, so that wasn't happening. But just to see these glass blowers working was just incredible. I've been to Simon Pierce here in America in Vermont. His glass work is beautiful too, totally two different beasts at this point. And they've been at Murano glass has been around way longer than Simon Pierce. And just having that experience again was amazing. And of course, you go by boat. So we go from Venice, we go down by St. Mark's Square, we get on a boat and we go across. And then we're over there and a storm starts rolling. And we went to this fabulous restaurant. We sat outside. It was just so lovely, so lovely. And as we're finishing lunch, you can see dark clouds coming and you can hear thunder. And we're like, how are we going to get out of here? We ended up getting on the boat and getting back just right in the nick of time, right back onto Venice, back into Venice. And it started raining then, right when we got there. But we had an amazing meals. And then we got up and got on the train and stayed in Airbnbs, got on a train and went into Florence through Bologna and oh my gosh, the countryside, amazing, amazing. And we get on this train and just choo-choo down the road. It would choo-choo down through these beautiful, beautiful countryside. And we get into Florence, and I luckily had reached out to a good friend of mine that I have grown up with and have known since I was a kid from St. Louis, Peggy Payton. And Peggy lives in Florence, and I reached out to her, and we got together, and it was amazing. She took us to Siena, which was, oh my gosh, the church, and it was pouring down rain. It was freezing cold, but we had the best time. We went on the tour of the Duomo there. Amazing. Again, the Blessed Mother's everywhere. So everywhere I would look on the side of these buildings would be like an old painting or an old marble piece that had been carved out to the Blessed Mother with baby Jesus in her arms. It was amazing, amazing. And being with an old friend and just connecting was just so great. I hadn't seen her again since I was like think, I guess, 17 years old, 55, you do the math, a long time. But it felt like time had not passed at all. And I met her lovely, amazing boyfriend, who's fabulous, Luco, and they gave us a tour. We went to an amazing dinner. We ate a steak that was like this thick, and I'm putting like, I swear, I think it was 3 or 4 or 5 inches thick steak, and it was so rare. But I ate the entire thing, and I'm from St. Louis, and I always have had well done meat. But I wanted it rare while I was there. I wanted to experience how the locals eat it. It was amazing. um, we went Amanda, you guys know I love my Amanda, and Amanda was like, "You've got to go to this restaurant where they make the pasta in the Parmesan cheese." It was so good, so delicious, oh my gosh, so fun. I didn't think about any calories. I was like, "I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just eating because it's so good." And seeing, oh my gosh, just everything in Florence was just so great. And again, we stayed in an Airbnb and we were right in the heart of town. We could walk, walk, walk everywhere, which was great. And then we took a train from there. We left Peggy and Luco and went went down to Rome. Oh my gosh. I didn't know how much I was going to love Rome. I had no idea how much I was going to love Rome. Oh my, it's a city, obviously. And we were staying in an Airbnb right down, like maybe 6 blocks, maybe 10 blocks from the Spanish Steps. We went there right away. We went up to the Spanish Steps and it was just beautiful. The sun was literally about to set, so the light was fabulous. The stairs were incredible. They had flowers everywhere, music. That's the other thing. I realized when I was there, there's music everywhere. And Andre Bocelli, like they're playing the violin, Andre Bocelli. These young people are like, "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun." Oh, it was so fabulous. Oh my gosh. It was so amazing. We went to the Vatican. I will tell you something about the Vatican that happened. I have to tell you, like, after being in the light for so long, and feeling like I was finally free from all this old stuff and I was finally living, I finally was clean. I hate to say clean because I'm always clean because I take a shower, but I finally had said confession and I had no idea what that was going to do for me. But what it did do was give me this sense of like, I am free. I've started over. I'm in a new place. I'm just Elizabeth. It's Elizabeth 5 point or 6.0 or 10.0. I don't know what it is, but all I can tell you is I had this total new sense of self and who I was and that I wasn't alone anymore and everything was okay no matter what any of the noise told me or any of the other things told me. I knew that I was at peace. So when I first left Medjugorje, I had 2 phone calls that were just not like who I would like, not people from that are like living in the light. That's for sure. I was like, why are these people calling me that I haven't talked to in so long? And they're like, da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting pulled back. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? They're like, it's normal. I'm like, really? It's normal? They're like, yes. And then I went on a tour of the Vatican and I never get migraine headaches. Okay, you guys, I don't ever get them. I haven't gotten them since my parents went through a divorce when I was a little kid. But I went through the Vatican and I started to get this horrible headache. It was so crazy. Needless to say, the Vatican, words can't describe it. That's just the reality. Words can't describe it. It was absolutely incredible. We had a tour guide. It was just the two of us and a tour guide. And it was the art, the statues, the grounds, amazing. Just amazing. It's totally what you see. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like this was started, again, so long ago. The history we saw, um, oh my gosh, the Pantheon. I mean, that church has been there for 100 billion years, like so long. And then to see where Caesar was and to be at the Colosseum. I mean, and to see the artifacts from the Colosseum. I mean, it was so I did get a little bit like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much overload." Like, everywhere you look is something to see that you've never seen before. I mean, it's not like here in America, like if you go to a different state, is it different? I mean, unless you go to the Grand Canyon, which of course is absolutely incredible, or you go to one of the national parks, which is definitely you see things that you would never see in your normal habitat. But when you go to different cities, it's like, oh, it's the same TJ Maxx. Oh, there's the Starbucks. Oh, there's Nordstrom Track. Like it's all the same. But when you're there, each city has its own little heartbeat. Each city has its own feeling. Each city is like filled with just this amazing, amazing art. We went to the Borghese Museum and it was kind of fun because I was talking to Amanda Borghese and I'm walking through there talking to her and I'm sending her pictures and it's just and to see that they made these statues with one piece of marble is just incredible. Oh, we saw David, the statue of David. We saw that in Venice. Unbelievable. We went on a tour for that. Amazing. That was one piece. He did that with one piece of marble. You can't even find have this marble anymore. A lot of these statues that were made out of these marbles, you can't even find the marbles anymore. They're gone. But these artists just went in and made the actual like the definition on the hands, on those, on a blanket, on their wrists, on their necks, on their eyes, their hands. Their hands are just defined so absolutely. You're just like, how did somebody do this? How did somebody do this? How did somebody at St. Mark's Square do all the statues that go all the way around it? You go inside there's of the Duomo in Siena, and there's heads of every pope on up, way up high in the sky inside of the church. It's just amazing. Amazing. I could live in Italy. I could totally live in Italy, no problems. No, I could live there and probably not see everything I'd ever want to see and know that it is just one of the most magical places on this planet. And to see that they've preserved it the way they've preserved it, and to know it's not all about the wine. The food's incredible, the desserts are incredible. It's about getting out and seeing things and learning in history. And in our country, we don't have any history anymore. It's so sad. I feel like I came back to the same old stuff. People sitting around on cell phones at dinner table when you go to restaurants, they're all on a different cell phone. I didn't really see that in Italy. I saw people sitting and having conversations and having coffee and sitting at cafes and just talking to their friend. And I feel like we don't have that anymore. What happened? What happened? I was telling somebody yesterday, I don't think I saw anybody with fake lips. I don't think I see anybody with fake anything when I was over there. I swear I didn't see it. Here, I see it everywhere. I'm like, why are we not okay inside of ourselves, the way that we look? Why do we want to change? Why do we want to look like everybody else? Why aren't we okay inside of our own skin? Why aren't we happy the way God made us? Why are we searching to put things into our bodies so that we don't feel anymore? Has that been done by us or has that been done by society or the powers that be that we can't even see? Why is it? Why is it that we don't know our neighbors anymore? Why is it that if we vote differently, we can't talk to each other? Why is it that we have such anger towards people that are different than us? Why is it not okay to believe one thing and another person to believe another? Why is it not okay to have talk about things? Not screaming or shoving things down each other's throats, but really talking and listening. Why is that so hard today? When did life get so dramatic and so confusing? I don't know when. but I love some of the things that are new because let's face it, I mean, I still like to figure out how to get around without a map. But if you're lost and you get nervous, I guess having Waze or having, Google Maps is really helpful. But I remember when I had a paper map and it worked just as well. Um, Took a little more effort, a little more brain power, which was kind of nice. Get to use your brain. And it's nice to have a phone with you at all times, I guess. Um, but social media has ruined us. Wanting to look like, you know, like getting all this work done on ourselves to make us feel okay. Because it's all what it's all about. Let's just face it. We don't feel comfortable in our own skin, so we need to change things. We don't like our lips, we've got ad lips. We don't like our bodies, we change our bodies. We do all these things. We want to stay young. We want to stay young. But where is the appreciation for the fact that, we have life? I have wrinkles. If you guys aren't watching me on YouTube, I'm just telling you. And I've earned every one of them. And I've had life, I've cried, I've been happy, I've been sad, I've gone through things. And it's all been to learn, to experience, to share, to know life is pretty amazing. The world's pretty amazing, but it's pretty amazing because of the people that are in it with me. The fact that I have the friends that I have the husband that I have, that I have the kids I have. As hard as it gets with my kids, and as hard as it's been with my son not talking to me and his wife, who I miss and I love dearly. And forgiveness, they say, is the hardest thing for any of us to do, is to forgive. And that's where I find peace today, is in forgiving. Why do I need to carry around? Why do any of us need to carry around these stories of yesterday? These stories that happened a long time ago, the pain that happened a long time ago. If we sat with it long enough, we don't need to carry it around like a badge of honor. We don't have to be hateful. We don't have to dislike certain people anymore. We have to forgive them and know that they're all human. Everybody's human. Even a new friend who went to church. She heard the podcast last week and she went to church and she wanted to give her confession. And the priest wouldn't hear her confession because she was married outside of the church. And I said, you need to go find a different priest because that first priest, he's human. And anybody who's looking for somebody to say, you know what, I want to confess to you, I think is an amazing gift. I learned that in AA. It's not so black and white, but it's finding the right people. And if you haven't found the right people right now in your life, you've got to keep searching. And you have to know that there is a darkness in the world, and that darkness sometimes gets in our way. And we think that that darkness just makes us go, "Oh, forget about it. I'm not gonna do that." And it's forget we just start going to like, woe is me, and terrible, 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 instead of saying, "Okay, that person said no, but this next person might say yes." You know, in America, that was one of the best things about America when people first came here, was it's like the land of the free. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. You can try all new things, and you can keep going, and you can come from the harshest backgrounds and saddest, and propel yourself to the next level, and knowing that you don't ever give up. And it's just like sobriety, like you don't ever give up. If you want to be sober, you'll go to any lengths to get sober. If you want to have confession, you'll find a priest that hears your confession. If you want to have God in your life, you're going to go to a church again. You're going to go and you're going to find the place you want to go, or you're going to go back to synagogue. You haven't been to synagogue in a long time, but you want to go back to synagogue. Or if you want to go to the mosque, you want to go back and you want to have that sense that you're not alone. You can find it in those buildings. And it's not the building, it's what's inside the building. It's not your house, it's what's inside your house. It's those feelings of home, safety. Where are you going to find that in your life? I've been searching and searching and searching, and I found it. And I am so excited to share it with you all. Like Medjorgia gave me this new sense of freedom, true freedom in my heart, because I know that no matter where I go, God is always with me. No matter where I go, the Blessed Mother is always with me. I don't need to ignore her. I just need to give her praise and say thank you, and him praise and say thank you, and whoever it is that you look up to, find somebody. I always have said for years and years, getting sober is not about going to a certain special rehab or getting a certain special detox. It's about being with God and going to that rehab, that facility in Medjorgia where the men were. I didn't go to the women's side, but where the men were to get clean and they didn't, or get sober. They didn't. They they use the Bible. That's what they use. They use prayer. They use prayer, and they're getting their lives back in order, and it is amazing to see. And I don't think you necessarily need to go to. I mean, if you want information about it, let me know. But I think that getting a relationship with God will change everything in your life. I just do. I believe it. And you might find that again in a mosque, temple, or church, wherever it is. Just know that you're not alone and that you are on a journey and you can find peace and freedom. Um, this life and that I've been in for 55 years has I've seen so much and I'm so grateful for all of it, but I'm so excited for what I'm going to see in the future and what I get to share with you guys in the future. I I just want you to know you're not alone. And I want you to know that the world has become, that was one of the other things I want to just really say really briefly, is that the world has become so much smaller from when I was younger. People didn't travel all over the place, and there weren't tickets that you could fly to Rome for literally under $600, which is what I found. Um, Round trip nonstop from Miami was under $600. Can you guys believe it? But it was. Um, and knowing that we can do these things, and if you can take off a couple days, whatever it is, you can have dreams and you can have aspirations, and when you're sober you can do whatever you want to do. I mean, for so long I remember sitting on that bar stool saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I never did anything. I stayed in that town, or maybe went to the same beach in Ocean City, New Jersey that everybody else went to and talked about the same things there. I just moved my location. Nothing really else changed. But going on trips like this were life changing. And I know that as much as you think you can't do it, you can. You can dream for something. You can have a bucket list and you can check the things off that bucket list. Because when you're sober, or when you're not, don't even need to be sober, and you have a life that's functioning, you can dream and you can reach for those things. And you don't need to keep going to the same wah, 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 pity party, because nobody ever wants to come to that pity party. And you don't need to go, I can't do this, I can't do that. Instead of changing, I can't, change it to I can. I can do whatever I want to. I can do whatever I want to. If I dream it and I plan it out, I can make it happen. And sometimes you don't even plan it out. You just say, yes, I'll go. If you want to go to Medjugorje, let me know. Send me an email, Elizabeth@elizabethchance.com. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thanks for being here. Again, subscribe if you're watching me on YouTube. Go to my website, subscribe to my newsletter. And I'm thinking of you all. I'm sending prayers to you all. I'm sending big hugs to you all. I know you can do this one day at a time. Some days it might be 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, but you can do this. This is all my opinion, by the way, nobody else's. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. And again, please, if you do, share it with your friends, with your family. And until next time, everybody, keep getting busy, living sober. Take care. Bye.